So due to COVID-19, we cannot meet face to face. So we have to arrange video lectures for you people. Our subject name is investment banking and financial service. So let's start with the very first unit, introduction to the investment banking. Syllabus includes an overview of Indian financial system, investment banking in India, recent developments, challenges ahead, institutional structures, and function of investment banking and merchant banking. The word investment banking and merchant banking, both word is similar. Either you can use investment banking or merchant banking. SEBI's guidelines for the merchant bankers, registration, obligation, responsibility of the lead managers, regulation regarding continuance of association of lead manager with an issue. So in today's lecture, we have to complete our first topic, that is an overview of Indian financial systems. So here is first question in mind, that is the difference between commercial bank and investment bank. What is the main difference between commercial bank and investment bank? So generally commercial banks perform various types of financial functions, like it accept the deposit and provide loan and advance to the general public, transfer of the fund, then provide interest, dividend on behalf of companies, then various kinds of uh, overdraft facility, then cash credit facility, consumer credit facility. These are the primary and secondary function which are performed by the commercial bank. But here is investment bank do not perform any kind of day-to-day financial function. They do not accept the deposit and provide loan to the general public. So generally here is investment banking only provide the corporate advisory service. So it is investment bank don't lend and accept the deposit. They mainly give advisory service. For example, advisory service in case of merger and acquisition, then credit rating services. What do you mean by credit rating? There is a chapter number 4. We discuss in detail credit rating. Here I just tell you the meaning of credit rating. So generally, credit rating, in which there are various credit rating agency which provide grade or rate to the particular company or particular instrument. For example, triple A grade, double A grade, triple B grade, double B grade, triple C grade, double C grade, then D grade. So generally triple A grade means the financial position of that company must be strong. Company can able to pay their borrowed money. So generally D grade means defaulter. So for example, D grade means here is company cannot able to repay back its debt amount. So generally, before making any investment decision, first you have to check the grade, whether on the basis of grading, on the basis of rating, investor can take decision whether they have to make investment in particular company or not. Then underwriting service means here is there are 4 to 5 intermediaries involved in the issue management activity, like selection of broker, selection of underwriter, selection of registrar, selection of banker, selection of merchant banker. So there is underwriter. Underwriter means whenever company issue these shares, and if company's share will not fully subscribed by the general public, then underwriter is the person who provide guarantee to the particular company. If company's share will not fully subscribed by the general public, then remaining outstanding shares purchased by the underwriter. Then advice relating to trading means buying and selling activity regarding investment. Then advice regarding issue management. So second chapter is issue management. There are various types of issue, like public issue, right issue, then private placement. What do you mean by public issue? Public issue means shares offered to the general public through prospectus. Generally, prospectus is one type of written document in which detail about the company must be noted. So it is. Then right issue. Right issue means shares offered to the existing shareholder. And private placement means shares offered to the particular group of person, not more than 50. So there is difference between, just clarify the meaning. Commercial banking means generally perform various day-to-day financial function except the deposit and provide loan in advance, overdraft facility, cash credit facility, ATM facility. But investment bank do not involve in day-to-day financial function. You have to just keep in mind that investment bank only provide the advisory service, consultant service. Then our very first question, that is the meaning of financial system. So any country's growth and development will always depend on the financial system of that country. For example, if you want to progress, if you want to increase the national income of the country, then your country's financial system must be well integrated. So it is the financial system of any country is an important tool for economic growth, development, and progress of the country, as it help in creation of wealth. For example, if you want to increase the national income, if you want to increase the GDP, then our financial system must be well mannered and ethical. So it creates the link between saving and investment. Generally, main objective of financial system is the mobilize the saving. Mobilization means the transfer, movement of funds from savers to investors. So it effectively bridges the gap between those who save the part of money from their income and those who require money to invest for the productive purpose. There is in country, some people have a surplus or extra income, and some people have a deficit, minus balance. So here is, so money can be transferred, move, mobilized from area of surplus to area of the deficit. And main objective is productive. It is productive means that type of activity which can be generate the profit, which can generate the income. So it facilitates the flow of fund. Flow of fund means movement of fund, transfer of fund, transfer of finance from the savers to the investor. So it will helpful to, it will aid in means helpful to create the wealth, to increase the national income. So whenever a per capita income is increased, national income will increase, then it will be definitely affect the standard living of the country. So in development of both party means savers as well as investor. So you have to just remember that it financial system effectively bridge the gap between saving and investment, and it is also efficient mobilization and allocation of the surplus fund. So here is, if you want to continuous growth, continuous development, then our Indian financial system must be well integrated. Then a financial system. Generally, our Indian financial system divided into two parts. That is formal financial system and informal financial system. Formal financial system, which is also known as a organized system. Informal financial system, which is known as the unorganized system. What is the basic difference between formal financial system and informal financial system? Formal means there should be rules and regulations. There should be regulatory or controller body like Security Exchange Board of India, SEBI, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, MOF, Ministry of Finance, IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority. So there are various controller body or regulatory body. For example, if your company registered or listed under the National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange, then you have to compulsory follow the rules, regulation and SEBI's guidelines. So it is formal means you just have to follow the various rules, regulation, terms and conditions. And informal means there is no any kind of rules and regulation. For example, if you have taken borrowed money from your relatives, from your friends, from landlords, then there should be no any kind of strict rules and regulation. There should be terms and conditions mutually decided between both parties. So it is financial system is composite, well integrated set of subsystem comprising, including generally formal finances. Again, I repeat, our Indian financial system divided into two parts, that is formal and informal. Formal system again divided into four parts, that is financial markets, financial instrument, financial service, and financial institution, which facilitate the transfer and allocation of the surplus fund efficiently and effectively. So it is main thing in Indian financial system is main objective is mobilization. Mobilization means movement, transfer of saving. Mobilization means there is transfer of money from savers to investor, or you can say from lender to borrowers. So the Indian financial system mobilize the fund from savers to spender, or you can say investors. So definition is given. According to Robinson, the primary function of Indian financial system is to provide the link between saving and investment for creation of wealth. So generally, why there should be requirement of financial system? Why there should be requirement of regulatory or controller body? Why there should be requirement of SEBI's guidelines? What is SEBI? Security Exchange Board of India's main function is to formulate the various rules and regulations, the terms and conditions, especially that is the protect the interest of the investor, and main objective is to financial transaction must be done in ethical manner. So it is provide the link between saving and investment for creation of wealth and to permit portfolio adjustment in composition of the existing wealth. Then that is the introduction part we have start, that is the financial system of country is related with which type of functions included in financial system. So first one, allocation and mobilization of saving. So you have to just keep in mind that our Indian financial system have a main objective is to encourage the saving, mobilize the saving, and allocation of surplus fund from areas of surplus to areas of deficit. In country, some people have a surplus or extra balance, but here is some people having a deficit, negative balance, minus balance. So there is mobilization, allocation of the surplus fund. So it is transfer, movement of fund from savers to investors. Then provision of funds. So it is our Indian financial system includes financial institution, financial market, financial services. So if you have a whenever you have a requirement need of money for expansion purpose, modernization, replacements of outdated machinery, then you have to take an easily loan from the bank, easily raise the fund with the help of financial institution or bank. Then facilitating the financial transaction. So it will be, there should be a regulatory body, or you can say controller body, like Security Exchange Board of India, Reserve Bank of India. So each and every financial transaction must be ethical. So it is Indian financial system helpful to perform financial transaction in ethical manner with the help of various regulatory and controller body. Then developing financial market, we discuss in detail in next slide, that is the financial market divided into two parts, capital market and money market. So capital market is for longer period of time. Longer period of time means having a maturity period is more than 1 year. And here is money market. Money market is generally for shorter period of time, means having a maturity period of money market instrument is less than 1 year. Generally capital market instrument include equity share, bond, debenture, preference share, and money market instrument includes the treasury bill, commercial paper, commercial bills, then certificate of deposit, then provision of legal financial framework. So there should be compulsory in Indian formal financial system, compulsory have to follow various legal rules and regulation which is decided by the Security Exchange Board of India. Then provision of financial and advisory service. Nowadays financial institution not only provide the financial service, but financial institution also provide the advisory, counseling, consultant service to their clients, so their client can take decision, a good investment decision, ideal investment decision, so their return can be maximized and risk can be minimized. Then very first question, this question was asked in Saurashtra University 2019 exam. what do you mean by Indian financial system, and explain the components of the Indian financial system. So let's start with the very first question, that is structure of Indian financial system and component of Indian financial system. So again I repeat, our Indian financial system divided into two parts, formal financial system and informal. So these four parts like financial institution, financial market, financial instrument and financial service, that are the part of the formal financial system. Again I repeat, what is difference between formal system and informal system? Formal means there should be rules and regulations, there should be rules and regulations, but here is in informal, there is no any kind of rules and regulations. So again, financial institution, so there is a banking institution, non-banking institution, financial corporation, mutual fund companies, then insurance company, then financial markets. There are two type of market, money market and capital market. Capital market again divided into two parts, that is primary market and secondary market. Primary market means first issue market, or you can say new issue market, and secondary market means already issued, means buying and selling activity taken place in secondary market. Then financial instrument, so there are two type of instrument, money market instrument and capital market instrument. Money market instruments like commercial bill, certificate of deposit, treasury bill. Then capital market instruments like equity share, bond, preference share, debentures. Then financial services. Financial service includes the credit rating service, leasing, hire purchase, then merchant banking services, then depository services. So we discuss in detail one by one in next slides. So this is the chart given. You have to compulsory draw the chart. In material also chart will be given. So financial system is divided into four parts: institution, financial market, financial instrument and financial service. So let's start with the very first part, that is Indian financial system, formal financial system and informal financial system. Formal means organized system. Formal financial system includes for financial institution means bank. Then financial instrument. Instrument means equity share, preference share, bond, debenture, treasury bill, commercial paper, commercial bills, certificate of deposit. Instrument here is short term instrument and long term. Short term means maturity period is having a less than 1 year, and long term means maturity period is having a more than 1 year. Then financial market, money market and capital market. Then financial services like credit rating services. Credit rating means there should be credit rating agency like CRISIL, ICRA, CARE, which provide grade to the particular company. So on the basis of grade, like the AAA grade, AA grade, triple B grade, double B grade. So on the basis of grade, investor can take decision whether they have to make investment in particular company or not. So before making investment decision, first you have to just check out the grade which is provided by the qualified agency. Then informal financial system, again I repeat, informal means there should be no any kind of rules and regulation. So let's start with the very first part, that is the formal financial system, which is also known as the organized system. Organized means it is regulated by. Regulated by means controlled by the various controller body or regulatory body, that is SEBI, RBI, MOF, Ministry of Finance, IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. So generally, why there should be controller body or regulatory body in Indian financial system? Because to design, to formulate the various rules, regulation which must be followed by various financial institutions, financial markets, financial instrument. So financial transaction must be performed in ethical manner. So that should be requirement of terms and conditions, rules and regulations. So it is various regulatory body, like a controller. Regulatory body means controller body, like Ministry of Finance, Reserve Bank of India, Security and Exchange Board of India, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. If your company listed and registered under the NSE and BSE stock exchange, then you have to compulsory follow the rules and regulations of the Security Exchange Board of India. The various banking institutions have to compulsory follow the rules and regulations, that is Central Bank, Reserve Bank of India. Various insurance company have to compulsory follow the rules and regulation of Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Then very first component, our formal financial system divided into four parts, four components. Very first component, that is the financial institutions. Financial institution, generally also known as the intermediaries or financial intermediaries of financial markets. So financial institution, which is also known as intermediaries. Why intermediaries? Because it creates the link between savers and borrowers, savers and investors. Saver are those persons who have a surplus income, and borrower are those persons who have a need of money, who have a requirement of money for making the investment. So which facilitate the financial transaction between individuals and financial customer. It simply refers to an organization. Generally financial institution means bank. So here is, there are various primary functions of the bank, like accept the deposit and provide loan and advance. Generally bank, or you can say financial institution, is considered as a profit based financial institution. Why? Because for example, if you have a surplus rupees or extra rupees, and if you can deposit money into bank, then bank will provide very lower rate of interest to you. But whenever if you have a requirement of money, and if you have taken loan from bank, then bank have to charge very high rate of interest from you. So that is the difference between higher rate of interest and lower rate of interest. Higher rate of interest generally on loan. If you have taken loan, then you have to pay high interest. But if you deposit money into bank, then bank will provide lower interest. So it is high rate interest and low rate of interest. This difference is considered as an income for the bank. So that's why bank and financial institution is considered as a profit based financial institution. Nowadays bank is also considered as a trustworthy institution. So it simply refers to an organization that collect money from the individual. If you have a surplus or extra rupees, then you can deposit money into bank, like saving deposits, fixed deposit, current deposits, and invest that money in financial assets such as stocks, bonds, and bank deposit and loans. So there are various financial institution, means financial intermediaries, like commercial banks, cooperative banks, regional rural banks, development banks, non-banking financial company. Non-banking means generally which cannot provide loan and advance, which cannot accept the deposit. Non-banking means provide the advisory consultant service to their clients. Then mutual fund. What do you mean by mutual fund? So generally, for example, some investor have a do not proper knowledge about how to make an ideal investment, how to make a portfolio. Portfolio means bunch of security. For example, if you want to make investment, then you should not make investment in only one security or only one company. You should make investment in more than one companies, more than one security, so your return can be maximized and your risk can be minimized. So here is, some investors have not proper knowledge about how to make an ideal investment, so they have to directly making investment into mutual fund scheme. And mutual fund is one type of expert institution which provide guidance to the particular client and making portfolio on behalf of their client. Then insurance company. So again, there can be various types of financial institution. First one, banking institution. I repeat, banking, simple commercial banking. There are various financial function, accept the deposit, provide loan and advance. Advance in terms of overdraft facility, cash credit facility, consumer credit facility, ATM facility, locker facility. So these are the bank and credit union that collect money from the public. If you have a surplus rupees, simple, then you have to deposit money into bank, collect money from the bank. In return, bank will provide interest. For example, if you have a surplus rupees, then you have to deposit money into bank, and in return bank will provide interest. So here is again use that money to advance loan. Generally, for example, if you have a deposit money into bank, then there should be more deposited money, so some money remain inactive in the bank, so that's why bank will provide loan from the deposited money. So here is non-banking institution. Non-banking, I repeat again, non-banking means only provide advisory service, counseling service. These are the brokerage firm, insurance regarding advisory, then mutual fund advisory, companies that cannot collect money deposit but can sell the financial product, like non-banking financial company, housing finance corporation, then financial corporation, bank like ICICI, IDBI, SIDBI, IFCI, then investment institution like mutual fund, insurance company, state financial corporation, and state industrial development corporation. Again, this is the explanation of financial institution only. Financial institutions may be classified into three categories, that is regulatory, intermediaries, and non-intermediaries. So regulatory means we already discussed that SEBI is not a SEBI is not bank. SEBI is one kind of one kind of regulatory body or controller body. What is the main function of SEBI? SEBI have a main function, that is the formulated various rules and regulations, so that will be helpful to protect the interests of the market participants, or you can say investors. So it include institutions like SEBI. SEBI have to design various rules and regulation, and that must be compulsory followed. It is mandatory. If your company listed or registered, then it is mandatory, compulsory to follow the rules and regulations of SEBI, RBI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, which regulate the financial market. Regulate means control. SEBI have a control power. So to control the capital market, to control the money market, regulate the financial market, and protect. Main objective is to protect the interest of the investor. Then intermediaries means bank. Intermediaries means banking, create the link between savers and borrowers. It includes commercial banks such as SBI, PNB that provide short-term loan and other financial services to individual and corporate customers. Then non-intermediaries, non-banking financial companies. It includes financial institutions like NABARD, National Board of Agriculture and Rural Development, Industrial Development Bank of India, that mainly provide the long-term loans to the corporate customer. Then second components, let's start, that is the financial market. So financial markets means again divided into two parts, capital market and money market. So it refers to any marketplace where buyer and seller participate in trading of the asset. Trading of the asset means buying and selling of the security. Nowadays all type of transaction done online with the help of demat account, dematerialization, with the help of depository system. Nowadays shares available in demat form. Demat form means electronic form. So it is such as shares, bonds, currency, and other financial instrument. A financial market may be further divided into two parts. Financial market must be divided into two parts, that is the capital market and money market. What is the difference between capital market and money market? Capital market means having a maturity period is more than 1 year. Capital market instrument like equity share, bond, preference share, and debenture. And money market means having a maturity period is less than 1 year. Money market instruments like treasurer bill, commercial paper, commercial bill, certificate of deposits. So here is, while the capital market deals in long-term security having a maturity period is more than 1 year, then Money market is deal with the short-term debt instrument having a maturity period is less than 1 year. Here is capital market having a more than 1 year, and money market instrument having a less than 1 year. So again, money market means short-term and capital market means long-term. Capital market again divided into two parts, that is the primary market and secondary market. Primary market means first issue market, or you can say new issue market, and secondary market means already issued, means buying and selling activity taken place in the secondary market. Again, money market and capital market, that is the part of the financial markets only. The money market, it's a wholesale. Money market means here is debt instrument. Debt instrument means borrowed. Here is lower risk. Why lower risk in debt instrument? Generally, making investment in bond, debentures, short-term instrument, debt instrument, that is lower risk. Why? Because whether company earn profit or loss, it doesn't matter. Whenever company issue the debt instrument, then company have to compulsory pay interest, and interest payment, that is the interest, is generally considered as an income for the investor. So it is lower risk than highly liquid. Highly liquid means a maturity period is having a less than 1 year, so easily convertible into cash. Then short term instrument, funds are available in this market for period of ranging single day up to 1 year. This market is dominated mostly, generally, treasury bill, commercial paper, treasury bill issued by the government. Generally, sometimes government have to spend lots of money in various government schemes. So sometimes government have also deficit, negative balance. So that's why government have to issue treasury bill, which is purchased by the public. So it is the compulsory responsibility of government to pay interest on the treasury bill. Then bank and financial institution. Capital market. The capital market is designed. So the capital market is designed to finance the long-term investment. The transaction taking place in this market will be period over a year. Over a year means more than 1 year. And here is capital market instrument like equity share. We already discussed in semester 3 and 4 sources of finance, that is equity share, preference share, bond, debenture, with advantage and disadvantage. So this question you can write more content according to your writing speed. Then financial, third component, that is financial instrument. So financial instrument, there are two type of financial instrument, that is money market instrument and capital market instrument. So financial assets includes the cash deposit, checks, loan, account receivable, letter of credit, bank note, and all other financial instrument that provide claim against person, or you can say financial institution, to pay either specific amount on certain future date. So it is short-term instrument like a treasury bill. So I just give you brief view. We already discussed this type of terminology, treasury bill, commercial bill in SY semester 3 and 4. So treasury bill generally issued by the government. Whenever government have a deficit, negative balance, when government have to spend lots of money on various schemes, so sometimes government have a negative balance. So government issue the treasury bill having a maturity period is less than 1 year. So that should be purchased by the general public. So then commercial bills. Bills, here is terminology, this bill discounting. So generally, I explain that, for example, bill discounting. What do you mean by bill discounting? So here is three party, seller, buyer and bank. For example, buyer place an order to seller to purchase the good on credit basis. Say for example, credit period is 3 months. Now seller is also agreed to sell the goods on credit basis. Now meanwhile, in emergency case, sellers has a requirement of money. So seller asked to the bank and represent the 10,000. Say for example 10,000 bill amount to the bank, and bank will charge for example 2% discount. So 10,000 and 2%. That is, the bank immediately paid 9,800 to the seller, and after maturity period, credit period is 3 months. So after 3 months, bank will collect full amount, that is the 10,000 from the buyer. So bank, what happened? Bank immediately pay 9,800 to the seller, and after 3 months, bank will collect full amount, that is 10,000 from the buyer. So 200 rupees, which can be considered as a discount or commission from the bank. So it is a bill discounting. Then commercial paper. So it is a unsecured promissory note, generally issued by highly top rated companies. Certificate of deposit. Then long term instrument. Here is, keep in mind, short term instrument means money market instrument, and long term instrument means capital market instrument. So here is long term means equity. So you can write here various sources of finance with 2 3 advantage, 2 3 disadvantage, if you remember. Otherwise, if you have not remember, then you can refer SY notes, semester 3 and 4. I just give brief view. Equity share, generally in equity share, dividend is not compulsory and not fixed. Dividend which is depend on net profit of the company. So here is one advantage for the company, that in case of whenever company issue the equity share, then company, there should be no any kind of burden on company that compulsory pay dividend. Then preference share. Preference share means one kind of hybrid security. Why hybrid security? Because it possesses the characteristic of both equity share as well as debenture. Generally, what happened in equity share, dividend is not compulsory and not fixed. But in preference share, dividend is fixed but not compulsory, and in debenture interest, and debenture interest is compulsory and fixed. So debenture, whenever company issue the bond debenture, then it is a liability burden on company to pay compulsory interest, whether company earn profit or suffer from loss, it doesn't matter. If company issue the debenture bond, then company have to pay compulsory fixed interest. Then financial, fourth component, I repeat, our Indian financial system is very much helpful for growth and development of the country. If you want to increase the GDP, if you want to increase national income, per capita income, standard of living, then there should be well integrated financial system, strong financial system, and there should be various regulatory and controller body. So here is our Indian financial system divided into two parts. I repeat, formal financial system and informal financial system. Formal financial system means there should be various rules and regulations. There should be regulatory or controller body. So formal financial system having a four components, that is financial institution, financial market, financial instrument, and financial service. So all four component must have to compulsory follow the rules and regulations of the Security Exchange Board of India, Reserve Bank of India, Ministry of Finance, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Then informal. Informal, the word itself suggests the meaning. Informal means no rules and regulation. If you have taken borrowed money from your friends, from your relatives, from landlords, then there should be no any kind of rules and regulation. The terms and condition which is mutually decided by both parties. So there should be no any kind of top authority in informal financial system, which is also known as the unorganized financial system. So it is fourth component, last component of the formal financial system, that is the financial services. Financial services are related with the design and delivery of financial instruments. Especially financial services means provide the advisory, counseling, consultant service to individuals, business within the area of banking and related institutions. So is, if you have a requirement of advice, counseling relating to your personal financial planning, related to leasing, related to investment decision, in which company you have to making investment, in which security you have to make investment, when to investment, where to investment, then that type of advisory service provided by the nowadays financial institution as well as bank. Then insurance related services. So financial service include first one leasing. So there is in next chapter leasing, hire purchase, credit rating. I explain in detail, but here is I just give you brief view. First one leasing. So leasing means there are two parties, leasee and leaser. Leasee means user. We already discussed in semester 4. Leasee means user of the asset and leaser means owner of the asset. So generally nowadays, if you purchase any asset, then it become costly. So it's better to obtain asset on lease basis, means rent basis. So it is leasee have to compulsory pay rent to the leaser, which is also known as a lease rental. So there is a contract, or you can say mutual agreement, legal contract between two parties, that is leasee and leaser. Then hire purchase. Both words are more or less similar, that is leasing and hire purchase. But what is the basic difference between leasing and hire purchase? So in leasing, ownership is never transferred. Ownership is remain with the leaser, owner of the asset only. Leasing have a only right, power, authority to use of the asset. Leasing never become owner of the asset. But here is in case of hire purchase, whenever you pay last installment, then options should be provided. You have to purchase the asset and become owner of the asset. So that is the basic difference. So leasing means ownership is never transferred, but in hire purchase, that should be chances when you pay last installment, that you have to purchase the asset and become owner of the asset. Then credit rating, I again explain, repeat. Credit rating means there are various professional credit rating agencies like CRISIL, ICRA, SCARE, which provide grade like AAA grade, double B grade, triple C grade, D grade. So on the basis of grade, investor can take decision whether financial position of that company is strong or not, whether company having a capacity to repay its debt amount or borrowed amount or not. So here is triple A grade. I again repeat, triple A grade means strong financial position. Company have a very sound financial position. Company can easily repay their borrowed amount timely and regularly. But D grade means, which suggests the defaulter. Defaulter means if company have taken borrowed amount or loan, then if company cannot repay back, company having not any kind of position to repay the money, repay the interest, then that is the known as the defaulter. Then merchant banking, we discuss in detail. Our next topic is the what do you mean by merchant banking. Merchant banking and investment banking, both word is similar. Generally, investment banking more famous in USA, and the term merchant banking is famous in UK, India. Merchant banking, which is also known as the advisory service, counseling, consultant service. We already discussed the difference between commercial bank and investment bank. Either you can use the word investment bank or you can use the merchant bank. So here is merchant banking means provide advisory service relating to if you want to merger. There are various types of merger we already discussed, that is the horizontal merger, vertical merger, conglomerate merger. If you want to acquisition some company, then if you want to take on asset, obtain asset on lease basis, then related advisory service related to leasing, advisory service regarding the hire purchase. So that type of advisory service which can be provided by the merchant banker. Or issue management service. Issue management means, for example, there are three type of issue: public issue, right issue, and private placement. Public issue means shares offered to the general public, and right issue means shares offered to the existing shareholder, and private placement means shares offered to the group of person, selected group of person, not more than 50. So it is which type of activity involved in issue management activity. So it is issue management means nowadays there should be compulsory of any listed company. Whenever company declare the IPO, initial public offering, then there should be requirement to appoint one merchant banker. Generally issue management, if new company issue the shares, then whole management done by the merchant banker. So here is issue management activity like selection of broker, selection of underwriters, selection of banker, selection of registrar. So here is merchant banker means any person who involved in issue management activity, then act as a manager. If new company issue the shares, then whole management done by the merchant banker. So act as a manager, act as a consultant, and provide corporate advisory service in relation to issue management. Then factoring. Factoring again one type of financial service that create the link between seller and buyer to easily collect that amount from the buyer. Underwriting, this is a simple term. Underwriting means here is underwriting, you have to select the underwriters. If whenever company issue the public issue through the prospectus general invitation, if companies share not fully subscribed, not fully purchased by the general public, then outstanding remaining share purchased by the underwriter. Then depositories. What do you mean by depositories? Depositories means generally involved in holding the safekeeping of the securities like share, bond, debentures. So it is nowadays all type of instruments. Securities are available in electronic form, or you can say dematerialization, demat. So it is a safekeeping of the security with the help of depositories system. So it involves the provision of wide variety of fund asset based, non-fund based advisory service. So generally financial service provide the advisory service include all kind of institution which provide intermediate financial assistance and facilitate the financial transactions between individuals and corporate customers. Then again I repeat, there are two types, formal and informal. We have completed formal financial system, that should be included financial institution, financial market, financial institution, and financial service. So B part, let's start. That is the informal financial system, which is also known as unorganized. Keeping in mind, here is unorganized means there should be no any kind of top authority, there should be no any kind of strict rules and regulations. So it is individual money lenders such as landlords. For example, if you have taken borrowed money from the landlords, then traders, store owners, relatives, friends. For example, if you have a requirement of money for expansion, modernization of your business, if you want to install sophisticated machinery, sophisticated latest technology, then if you have taken borrowed money or loan from your relatives, friends, landlords, store owners, traders, businessmen, that there should be no any kind of strict rules and regulation. The terms and condition which is mutually decided by both party, lenders and borrowers. A group money lender, this group operate as an association to provide funds with their own rules, own rules. There should be no any kind of others rules like SEBI, RBI. There should be no any kind of regulatory body or controller body. So here is their own rules and regulation governing the dealing. Then few partnership firm and non-banking firms which are engaged. It is various group of person or a few partnership firm engage involved in the purveying. Purveying means providing finance without any kind of top authority upon them to govern the transaction. So I repeat again, Indian financial system, there are two parts in a formal financial system and informal financial system. Formal, which is also known as organized system. Informal means unorganized. What is the difference between formal and informal? Formal, in which there are four components and all four components have to compulsory follow the guidelines of the SEBI, RBI. Then here is informal means there is no any kind of rules and regulations. So here is formal divided into four parts: financial institution, financial market, financial instrument, then financial service. Then here is informal means when you have taken loan from when you have taken borrowed amount from your relatives, uh, from your uh, from your friends, then from landlords. Then there should be a simple terms and condition, no strict rules and regulations. So this is the very first question was asked in Saurashtra University 2019. Question is like what is Indian financial system and explain the various component of Indian financial system. So if you have any doubts or query, then you can message me. So from next lecture we have started what do you next topic, that is next question, that is what do you mean by merchant banking, and explain various functions of merchant banking in next lecture. So thank you all.